Blood Master Swordsman, the title of the Blood Flame cult's branch leaders. To the normal person or their subordinates, they're almost like death gods, and there aren't many martial masters who possess the prowess to kill them. Yeonshin fearlessly stands before such a being, as he gathers his core energy into his sword, performing the body-sword unification. Yeonshin intends to go all out before his enemy gets close. Back then, he was only able to win because he launched that barrage of attacks before his opponent could respond. Trying to do the same, Yeonshin prepares to swing his sword to launch the first attack. The Blood Flame cult's branch leader mocks Yeonshin by saying the name Desolate Fortress, which has made him way too arrogant. Yeonshin isn't a bit hesitant, as he makes the sword swing with the limit-releasing technique he created. Unfortunately, the cult branch leader dodges the incoming attack in the nick of time. Using a movement technique he learned from his senior, Yeonshin immediately strives forward to launch another attack. Yeonshin keeps barraging the Blood Flame cult's branch leader with his swift sword attack, and he keeps dodging it. Seeing how fierce this child's attack is, the cult's branch leader smiles as he states that he is not bad. This somehow gets to Yeonshin and makes him remember how powerless he is after close to losing his whole family. He grits his teeth and keeps attacking and toughens his mind that he is no longer his old self. Seeing a glimpse of a chance, Yeonshin grabs the cult branch leader's hand. He uses his reinforced hand to pulverize the hand his opponent uses to wield his sword. Only then does the cult branch leader realizes how tricky it is dealing with this child before him. So he musters up the vile core energy into his left hand and immediately attempts to grab this enemy he only sees as a pest so far. But Yeonshin proved to be faster, as he already swung his sword and cleanly cut the cult branch leader's hand. He screams in pain, being made to be a helpless and impotent martial master. Yet, Yeonshin doesn't stop with his attack, as he comes with everything he has got to deliver the final blow. Yeonshin's sword lands right in the middle of the cult branch leader's chest. He is unable to believe he lost to a mere white robe warrior from the Desolate Fortress. Yeonshin speaks to this vile person, that it looks like he has only inflicted pain onto others and never received it. Yeonshin lets his body tumble over as he swings his sword to clean it of blood. He then normalizes his breathing after such a fierce battle with bodies lying around everywhere. Right after, he notices a hole in the ground, so he walks toward it, only to witness the cruelty of the Blood Flame cult branch. With solemn in his eyes, he wishes all of these victims go to paradise after meeting such fate. As night falls, Yeonshin brings the boy back, and apparently the boy is still breathing, although weakly. This surprises Wonchong, Mirio, and Chung Myung, who see Yeonshin bloodied all over his clothes with a boy in his arms. Yeonshin gives the boy to Wonchong so he can take care of him, while Wonchong is surprised by the state the boy is in. Mirio wants to know if Yeonshin fought with someone, so she asks what happened and whether Yeonshin is all right with that much blood on him. Yeonshin simply states that is not his blood. He claims to be fine and reveals the fact that he discovered a place that seemed to be a Blood Flame cult branch. Mirio breathes a sigh of relief after hearing that this junior of hers is safe, only to be surprised to understand that he discovered something so dangerous. So she screams in shock, wondering whether it is really the Blood Flame cult branch. Yeonshin explains there were 8 red-haired Blood Flame cultists, one of them who was causing trouble in Jinping County, as well as one particular strong demonic cultist with red and black hair. Mirio states if there is a person who has red and black hair, he must have been a Blood Master Swordsman. In that case, it must be true that Yeonshin found their branch. She can't believe there is a Blood Flame cult branch that has planted its roots and is feeding off the people here. Without saying anything, Chung Myung takes up his sword and puts it in his waist. He says no matter what the mission is, the Blood Flame cult is a target of the Desolate Fortress that needs to be destroyed, and tells the other that they will now raid their branch. He walks off as he praises Yeonshin for what he accomplished is a great feat before telling him to have some rest now. Mirio agrees with such remarks, as she also will go with Chung Myung to clean up the branch. Before they go out, Yeonshin states that there is no need for them to go, they just need to get the government troops to do so, before adding that they need to help the victims. Wonchong tries to comprehend what Yeonshin said, as Mirio asks whether Yeonshin is saying he already defeated all of them, including the Blood Master Swordsman. Only then, Yeonshin nonchalantly claims that he already killed them all. Chung Myung is in disbelief that Yeonshin destroyed a blood flame cult branch by himself. So Yeonshin reveals the mobility arts this senior of his taught him really helped a lot. This makes Chung Myung speechless. For a white-robe martial artist to fight against a blood master swordsman is unheard of. Right after, Mirio explains that the blood master swordsman has a strange regeneration ability. It is extremely dangerous to go against him alone, so she wants to know how the battle went. She explains further that there were some who drove them to the brink of death, but got stabbed in their backs and died because they didn't know about their ability to regenerate. Yeonshin then brings in the head of the supposedly blood master swordsman with the red and black hair, as he wonders if he ever uses the regeneration ability. Apparently, Yeonshin has the urge to decapitate the branch leader after seeing the mountain of corpses he caused. Yeonshin still wonders if he used the regeneration ability. It could be really dangerous, as Chung Myung assures him that it exists and tells him that the fight is over now. Once they go back to the desolate fortress, the two blue-robe warriors report everything to Ma Jin, as he says that he did not expect a blood flame master swordsman to be involved in a mission. He expected it to be simple. He thought this might actually be better, and they were able to see what the white robes on the mission were really capable of. Ma Jin then asks them how what the lightning genius is like when faced with a life-and-death situation. Mirio doubted that was what really happened, as Chung Myung was confused by the question. Ma Jin clarifies that if a blood master swordsman was there, then it meant their forces were at least on a branch level, and that was a very dangerous situation for a white robe. Ma Jin assumes they are going to the branch by bringing the two white robes and destroying it. In the end, Mirio admits they didn't actually see anything. She reveals that Yeonshin went on the reconnaissance mission alone, and then annihilated the entire blood flame cult branch by himself. Ma Jin then tries to clarify that what she is saying is that Yeonshin went there alone and killed all the blood flame cult members, including the blood master swordsman. Ma Jin is shocked after Chung Myung simply affirms what he said. Meanwhile, Yeonshin is busy with his mind like always, as Wonchong expresses how he can't believe he has grown attached to this place and how nice it is to be back. He then asks Yeonshin whether he feels like the atmosphere was a little electric when they returned. Yeonshin agrees. It was as if the people were having a festival. Apparently, Wonchong becomes quite a gossip monger, as he reveals that it's because the former Divine Sword Squad captain has returned to fight for the position of Elder Council leader. He brought a boy back with him, who is said to be an adopted son of the famed Desolate Ma clan. The boy is rumored to be extremely talented. Yeonshin knows the Desolate Ma clan is his mother's clan. However, they have never come to Shinya County before, not even when his mother wedded. Even after Yeonshin's mother gave birth to him, they did not reach out once. Yeonshin smiles as he thoughts such a story is something one would hear in the villages. It is as if they cut off all ties with their daughter, who married into a household that would make them seem like they were of a lower class. In the morning the next day, Yeonshin reports to his squad captain as he calls for him. Ma Jin intently looks at Yeonshin from the bottom up, and he can see how amazing Yeonshin turns out after his mission, evident by how different Yeonshin's energy is. To think Yeonshin annihilated an entire blood flame cult branch by himself. That wasn't luck, he thought. Ma Jin then stands up, telling Yeonshin to follow him. As he reveals the fortress master asked them to meet her together. This can only make Yeonshin wonder why the desolate fortress master, a person with such a position, wants to meet with them. As he follows his captain, he asks whether there have been instances when she would ask to meet white robe warriors after their enlistment meeting. With a stern voice, Ma Jin replies that it never has been. As they walk, people not only offer their respect to the Black Robe Squad captain, but also to Yeonshin, the lightning genius. People are murmuring as they see Yeonshin, the person that not only known as the lightning genius of the Radiant Demon Squad, but also the person who killed a blood master swordsman as a white robe. That is the fact that's so hard to believe, as they see Yeonshin look younger than some of them imagined. Ma Jin then explains that it's natural for others to be paying attention to Yeonshin. To be able to destroy a blood flame cult branch by himself means that Yeonshin is considered a martial master within the desolate fortress. With that in mind, Yeonshin strides with confidence in his steps as he follows his captain to meet the fortress master. His concept of time is different to begin with, and Yeonshin doesn't have the luxury of time. Yeonshin wants to live, so he must become as strong as a divine sword captain before he turns 20. Yeonshin needs to advance from white to blue and surpass black robes like his captain to become someone capable of leading 17 squads like the Radiant Demon Squad as a purple robe divine sword squad captain. They arrive in front of the fortress master's office, and as Ma Jin knocks on the door, they overhear her mention the former divine sword squad captain has one grandchild. He replies by saying the blood of a lowly place can't flow far, and claims he will be glad if he doesn't bring shame to the Ma clan. Both Ma Jin and Yeonshin are still waiting, as the old man claims the child with him is his successor, and adds that while he is not from the main family, he is exceptionally talented. Once that is said, the door finally opens, and Ma Jin and Yeonshin enter. Aside from the fortress master, there is an old man, the supposedly former divine sword squad captain, with a young boy beside him. The green-haired fortress master welcomes the two people who just entered with a solemn smile on her face. Yeonshin intently looks at her and wonders what might she want from him, before he is startled by Ma Jin, who offers his greeting with respect for her, and Yeonshin follows him to offer the same. Right after, Yeonshin turns to look at the old man, the former divine sword squad captain, a purple robe martial master who's stronger than his captain, Ma Jin. The old man then turns to Yeonshin, affirming the boy in front of him must be the lightning genius from the Radiant Demon Squad. He introduced himself as Ma Yeonjiak, and he didn't forget to mention he used to lead the Divine Sword Squad. Apparently, Yeonjiak told the fortress master that his adopted grandson would like to see a martial master who's his peer. After hearing these words from him, Yeonshin knows this old man doesn't know who he is, and it turns out that is the reason why the fortress master wants him to come. Yeonjiak states that he heard about Yeonshin's fame recently, and now that he is seeing this child in person, he feels like the rumors don't do him justice. The old man adds that Yeonshin is very accomplished, and it's hard to believe that Yeonshin has attained so much at such a young age. Yeonshin simply brushes those kind words away by greeting this old man as his grandfather, revealing himself as Jung Yeonshin of the Radiant Demon Squad. This surprises Yeonjiak a bit, that a random child claims that he is his grandfather. The adopted grandson also looks confused at such words, while a naughty smile appears on the fortress master's face. Only then did Yeonjiak realize that Yeonshin has the surname Jung. This child is his grandson, from the daughter he rejected. Not only that, Ma Jin is also stupefied that Yeonshin is his sister's son, revealing Ma Jin is Yeonshin's maternal uncle. They all are being played by the fortress master, revealing a massive family drama.